Once there was an invisible man who felt unnoticed by the world. He decided to embark on a journey to find his purpose. Packing his invisible suitcase, he set out on an adventure. His first stop was a bustling city filled with tourists. The invisible man marveled at the towering skyscrapers. He wandered through the crowded streets, completely unseen. Suddenly, he heard a group of tourists laughing nearby. Curious, he followed them to a famous landmark. The tourists were taking pictures of a giant statue. The invisible man thought it would be fun to photobomb. He stood in front of the camera, making funny faces. The tourists were puzzled by the strange photos. They couldn't figure out why their pictures looked so odd. The invisible man chuckled at his little prank. Feeling mischievous, he decided to explore more. He sneaked into a fancy restaurant for dinner. The waiters were confused as plates floated in midair. The invisible man enjoyed the best meal he'd ever had. As he left, he thanked the chef in his invisible way. The chef was astonished by the mysterious voice. The invisible man continued his journey, visiting museums. He admired the art without worrying about crowds. No one noticed him as he strolled through the exhibits. At one museum, he overheard a tour guide. The guide was explaining the meaning of a famous painting. The invisible man listened intently, fascinated by the story. He realized that even though he was invisible, he could learn. The more he learned, the more confident he felt. He decided to visit a beautiful beach to relax. The waves crashed gently as he walked along the shore. He built a sandcastle, enjoying the feel of the sand. Nearby, a family was playing beach volleyball. The invisible man joined the game, surprising everyone. The ball seemed to move on its own, thrilling the players. They laughed and cheered, thinking it was a beach spirit. The invisible man felt happy to bring joy to others. As the sun set, he watched the sky turn orange and pink. He realized how beautiful the world was, even if unseen. The invisible man began to feel a sense of belonging. He decided to continue his journey, discovering new places. His next stop was a peaceful mountain village. The villagers were friendly, unaware of their invisible guest. The man helped them with chores, moving objects silently. The villagers believed their town was blessed by a guardian. They left offerings of food, which he gratefully accepted. The invisible man felt appreciated, even without being seen. He decided to explore the mountains surrounding the village. The fresh air and stunning views filled him with peace. He climbed to the highest peak and looked out over the valley. The invisible man felt on top of the world, literally and figuratively. He knew his journey had changed him forever. No longer did he feel unnoticed or unimportant. He realized that being invisible had its advantages. He could experience the world in a unique way. The invisible man decided to share his adventures. He wrote down his experiences in a journal, page by page. Though no one could see him, they could read his words. His stories were filled with humor, wisdom, and inspiration. Soon, people all over the world read his journal. They were amazed by the tales of the invisible traveler. The man's words touched the hearts of many. He inspired others to explore the world fearlessly. Readers laughed at his funny encounters and clever tricks. They were moved by his reflections on life's beauty. The invisible man became a legend, though no one saw him. He realized that he didn't need to be seen to make an impact. His journey taught him that visibility wasn't necessary for importance. He continued to travel, writing, and learning more each day. The invisible man found joy in every moment of his journey. He discovered that the world was full of wonders, big and small. Though he was invisible, he felt more connected to the world than ever. The man understood that life was about the experiences you create. He knew that laughter, kindness, and adventure were universal languages. The Invisible Man decided to visit more places and meet more people. He sailed across oceans, climbed more mountains, and explored dense forests. Everywhere he went, he left a little bit of magic behind. People would find notes or objects that seemed to appear out of nowhere. They knew the invisible traveler had been there, spreading joy and wisdom. The man felt fulfilled, knowing he was making a difference. He learned that true happiness came from within, not from being seen. The Invisible Man continued to write, sharing his lessons with the world. His journals became treasured by all who read them. He realized that he had found his purpose, to inspire others. The Invisible Man's journey was far from over. He knew there were still many places to explore. He looked forward to the adventures that awaited him. The man was no longer lonely, for he had found his place in the world. He understood that being invisible was a gift, not a curse. The Invisible Man smiled as he walked into the sunset. He knew that his story would live on even if he remained unseen. The world was his playground, and he was free to roam. The Invisible Man realized that life was an endless journey. He was ready to embrace whatever came next. The man knew that each day was a new adventure. He was excited to continue writing his story, one sentence at a time. The Invisible Man had found peace, purpose, and joy in his journey. He knew that he was exactly where he was meant to be. The Invisible Man's adventure would never truly end. He was a traveler, a writer, and a legend, known by all but seen by none. And so, he continued his journey, leaving a trail of inspiration behind him.